Alright, you'll find this in your public domain folder. So there's a whole bunch of public domain photos out there. Public domain photos, by the way, are photos that are free of all rights. They're usually taken by the government or some other kind of nonprofit organization, and they're a great way for students to kind of learn how to use like Photoshop and get some pictures and play around. So they're for commercial or non-commercial use. They're great. So here is a bunch of grapes. And what I'm going to do is start showing you some of the image adjustment features within Photoshop. And the first one I want to do is kind of do the all-purpose and wonder how to turn a photo black and white, because there's a lot of ways to do that. The first method is image adjustments desaturate. Okay? And it just turns it black and white. Now the problem with just doing that is the fact that I had no control whatsoever of what black and white was. Okay? So these grapes are still really dark. Okay? So I'm going to undo that and show you another method. Image adjustments black and white. Black and white allows me to choose what's going to become black and white. In this instance, I had green grapes and I had red grapes. So if I say, well, I want the red grapes to be a lot lighter, I can do that. And what about the green grapes? Maybe the green grapes are darker. So I can switch this around and I can get different types of things within the photo to become black and white. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. Another way to do this is image adjustments hue saturation, where I can choose at what level it becomes black and white. So I can get this very mucked up look. And then I can kind of use lightness to kind of mimic that, but lightness kind of washes it out. So that's a way of getting a half tone type approach to it. The last way is I'm going to show you a way to get a black and white image that is pretty nifty in the fact that it works a little bit differently. In lab color, and certainly you can go grayscale too, but in lab color, let's convert this over to lab and look at the channels. The channels has 3 different channels here. We have one for the lightness, which is a total black and white. And then I have these. So sometimes, I don't know, these come in handy every once in a while as far as black and whites go. I like these muted images, the A and B channels. So keep in mind, that's a good way to get a black and white. Another thing about lab, and I'll go over lab a little bit later, but what's nice about it is the channels are separated from each other. So we got the black and white separated from the color itself. So here's all the green and red in that picture. I thought that's really neat because you can really tweak around stuff like, let's say I go into curves. Okay. In curves, it has this curve that I can mess around with for the darkness and lightness. And notice, even if I get way out of here, the color stands true. And you get this really vivid look. Okay, but what's really nice is, since this is based upon all 3 of the channels, let's say if I go in here and choose the background and then go image adjustment curves, I have the pick of A and B. So I can tweak out like certain colors and adjust this just like that. And I can tweak out these colors. And I have to balance everything now. So if you're gonna tweak out one side, you have to tweak it out equally on the other side of a curve. Now see right here, it would almost start to clip. So I can back this off, but I also have to back this off accordingly, or the colors won't balance quite well. Look how bright and vivid those grapes are, right? Yeah, so that's lab, but what the real lesson was to get black and white. So to get back to 8-bit mode, the best method I found out is not to just convert it over to 8-bit, because here you notice I can go back to RGB color, but what's going to happen, it distorts the color quite bad. So I can copy this new, and instead of lab color I go RGB color, and then edit paste. This way I keep all the vividness in the picture, but I go back to RGB. And if I need to now go black and white, I can, and you're going to have a whole different kind of look to that black and white. Okay, notice things are a lot crisper in this version of the black and white. Alright, so that is the several methods to turn something into a black and white image. Alright, please move on to the next video.